This week on Channel 8 News, we look at Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the election results, construction updates, and more. Your Channel 8 News starts right now.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 8 News, the show where we provide the latest news and sports coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Kirsten Stokes.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert. Before we get into this week's stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates.
Established back in 2001, Sexual Assault Awareness Month was created so that anyone can feel safe going out at night without the fear of sexual assault.
Northwest took part in this month by hosting multiple events around this to hear from survivors and to honor those impacted. Here's Riley Westphahl with the details.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and several organizations here on campus are hosting events to educate the community and stand with survivors of sexual violence. For the first event this month, Northwest Wellness Services Education and Prevention sponsored What Were You Wearing?, an exhibit displaying the clothing and stories of sexual assault survivors. I spoke with wellness educator Isabel Talkington to learn more about why this exhibit is so important.
So What Were You Wearing is an art exhibit that shows the clothes that survivors were wearing when they were sexually assaulted. So some of the outfits are the ones that they were actually wearing. Some of them are recreations, because it can be really traumatic to hold on to some of that stuff. But this exhibit really shows that it doesn't matter what you are wearing when you are sexually assaulted, because it's not the victim's fault. It's not the survivor's fault that they were sexually assaulted. It's the perpetrator's fault. So the survivors get to share their story with the Northwest community, and it's a way for them to be able to be seen, to be able to be heard, and this helps to show survivors that they're not alone, and the rest of the Northwest community, that this is a problem.
Wellness Services also hosted Take Back the Night, an event that allowed Northwest students to learn more about the resources available to them to help end sexual violence. To close off this month's activities, there will be an engaged training on how to help reduce harm on campus and a denim day where students and staff members can wear jeans to support sexual assault survivors. To learn more about the upcoming events for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, you can contact Isabel Talkington at istewart@northwestmissouri.edu. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Riley Westphahl with Channel 8 News.
The What Were You Wearing exhibit will be on display until the end of the month in the Student Union and the B.D. Owens Library.
And as Riley mentioned, the Engage training will be held on Tuesday, April 18th in the Student Union Meeting Room A to learn about violence prevention strategies related to alcohol and drug use, bias, discrimination, suicide, and mental health. Denim Day will be held on Wednesday, April 26th.
When we return, we'll be kicking it over to Bearcat Update with Skyler Stamps. He'll look at the baseball team versus Missouri Western and the conclusion of the spring sporting seasons. You're watching Channel 8 News on KNWT.
Northwest Tower Yearbook has dedicated over a century to documenting life on campus and in the Maryville community. The award-winning organization has numerous Pacemaker Awards and a spot in the Associated Collegiate Press Hall of Fame. Learn more about Tower at the handles below.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
Hey guys, we're filming behind the scenes for Creative Services. Come check it out. Here with Creative Services, our job is to promote KNWT, give you an in-depth look at our crew members, and shoot behind the scenes of all your favorite shows.
This is KNWT.
And we are
Creative Services.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update, the show for all things Bearcat sports. I'm your host, Skyler Stamps. With the semester nearing a close, so are the athletic seasons. The Northwest baseball team battled it out versus Missouri Western this past weekend. Here's some highlights. The Northwest baseball team was back at it this week with the end of the season fastly approaching. The Bearcats are coming off of a monstrous 20-5 victory in their 3-game series versus Newman and look to keep that energy rolling on Friday versus the rival down south, Missouri Western. Entering the game, both teams have struggled this season, bringing in a combined record of 14 wins and 50 losses. Both teams struggled to find offense in the first 4 innings, but the Bearcats kicked it into gear in the 5th. Keep an eye on the left fielder. With a runner on second, Caden Deal would line one through the left side. Zach Hanlon said, "I got it." Oh, he missed. He'd get it that time. Nope, he didn't. Third time's a charm, but not before the Bearcats score. With runners on first and second, Jacob Seelock triples to the right field after right fielder Hunter Olson's diving catch was just short. The hit would score 2 Bearcats, extending the lead 3-0. Sometimes it's just not your day. Cole Slabowski laid down a bunt that looked like it was going foul, but curled fair at the last second, scoring Seelock. With the score 4-0, Alex Bowers gets on base by the error from the first baseman, then the ball gets past the right fielder, scoring Slabowski. Keep in mind, this is still the 5th inning. The Griffins bring in a new pitcher, but that wasn't the problem. Sam Kratz throws a wild pitch on his first pitch of the afternoon, clearing the bases and scoring another Bearcat, making the lead 6-0. The Griffins would tack on 3 runs in the 7th inning, but it would not be enough to overcome Northwest's 6-run 5th inning. The Bearcats took the win 6-3. You can catch the Bearcats at home this week versus Washburn at 3 p.m. on Tuesday before taking on Quincy at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. As for softball, the ladies will go up against Truman State at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. this Wednesday at home. Then they'll go head-to-head with the Griffins at 1 p.m. on Friday. The Bearcat men's tennis team picked up 3 big wins this week over Emporia State, William Woods, and the highlight win over 9th-ranked Ouachita Baptist 4-3. Northwest is now ranked 11th in Division II and 1st in the MIAA. The 14th-ranked women's team also was in action this week, shutting out Newman 7-0 and Emporia State 5-0. The Bearcats stay on top of the MIAA standings with both wins this week. You can catch the Bearcats for their last home match of the year versus Missouri Western at 2 p.m. this Wednesday. The men's and women's track and field teams might not be able to find time to sleep this week. From this Wednesday to Saturday, athletes will find their way from California to Kansas as they compete in the Mount San Antonio Relays, Brian Clay Invite, the Kansas Relays, and the Pacific Coast Intercollegiate Invite. Good luck to all athletes. That's all the time we have for Bearcat Update. Be sure to tune in next time to stay connected to all things Bearcat sports. When we come back, we'll look at the results from the Maryville Municipal election, some Northwest events, and more. You're watching Channel 8 News on KNWT.
Here are the 2022 KNWT Missouri BA Award winners. Amazing Things. 3rd place for documentary film. Channel 8 News. Honorable mention for news show. And Nerdmageddon. 1st place for podcasts.
Hey guys, I'm Garrett Bevins.
And I'm Jonas Byland, and we're your hosts of Gen 2, your favorite place for all things gaming and rarely tech related. If you like video games, we're the show for you.
So come check out Gen 2 on the KNWT YouTube page.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Kirsten Stokes.
And I'm Alexis Kuhnert.
In your business and community update, the results are in. The general municipal election was last Tuesday, and Maryville residents casted their votes.
Maryville City Council incumbents Ben Lippick and Brian Williams ran unopposed, with Lippick receiving 453 votes and Williams receiving 372. Both will be resworn into the council. Also, Maryville R2 school board members did not appear on the ballot as not enough candidates entered into the race.
In more election news, Maryville voters said yes to Proposition M. Out of the Nottoway County ballots cast, 505 voted yes to the city question, while 72 said no. The tax will go into effect October 1st. Not only did Maryville approve the marijuana tax, but other towns in the surrounding area said yes as well. Recreational marijuana is gaining popularity in Missouri with over $93.5 million worth of adult use cannabis sold in the past month.
At the current rate, Missouri could end up selling more than $1.4 billion in the first year, making Missouri one of the top 10 largest cannabis markets in the United States.
The start of adult use marijuana started on February 3rd, which came less than 3 months after voters approved a statewide ballot initiative, Amendment 3. That made Missouri the 21st state to legalize adult use marijuana for those 21 years and older. For more information, watch past episodes of Channel 8 News or click on the links in the description below.
In other Maryville news, for the past year and a half, the city of Maryville has reconstructed Main Street. The construction is approximately 1.5 miles long, aiming at reconfiguring intersections, adding designated turn lanes, pedestrian signals, and street lights, all focused on improving Main Street. City Manager Greg McDaniel talked about what to expect.
The South Main Corridor Improvement Project started in 2014 with a traffic study that really looked at all of South Main from South Avenue to the bypass. And so we moved forward into advancing our efforts on federal funding. We were able to get funding for phase 1.
As he mentioned, the Main Street project is projected to end this spring, but said the contractors build in days for weather and other factors that go into the construction. But the goal is to be done by the end of April. Phase 2 will then begin south of the current construction from Highway V to Highway 71.
That'll probably be another 14 to 15 month construction project. And so I think part of the challenge is when we went, we spent a lot of time locally talking about this project and how long it would take. It would take 18 months to build, and we're at about 18 months right now. So it is on schedule. I know it feels like a long construction period, but that's how long it takes to reconstruct Maryville's most critical commercial corridor and roadway.
In business news, one Maryville business owner and TikTok influencer is competing for hundreds of thousands of dollars in a partnership on a brand new TV show.
That's right. Aaron Valentine, co-owner of Cool Cats and founder of Snow Cone King, is on Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars. Valentine will compete for $250,000 investment from Chef Ramsay himself.
The series begins on May 24th on Fox. For more information, click on the links in the description below.
And now, taking a look at some Northwest events. Theater Northwest presents one musical you might find under the sea, featuring a few of your favorite animated characters from your childhood who venture together to save the citizens from a disastrous volcanic eruption. The theater world has met mass media. I'm here in the Ron Houston Performing Arts Center just 5 days before the SpongeBob Musical premieres. Now, I bet you're wondering why a news anchor is concerned with Bikini Bottom, right? Well, Perch Perkins will take the stage April 13th through the 16th in the Maryland Theater to explore all Bikini Bottom has to offer. Who would have thought that a news anchor would be in a musical with the role they already have in everyday life? So I'm going to take you guys on a behind-the-scenes tour of all things SpongeBob and what it takes to put on a production of this caliber in just 3 months. Let's take a look. The biggest part of this production is the extensive scene work, like what platforms, lighting, costumes, and props to use to bring this underwater world to life. Shaylee Furbit, the paint supervisor, is in charge of bringing the color and style to Bikini Bottom.
Well, in SpongeBob the Musical, it is under the sea, and if you've ever seen SpongeBob, which I feel like most people have, it is very bright and colorful. And since we're under the sea, we want to embrace that colorfulness, especially to bring in the audience, like make them feel like they're actually underwater. Eli Houston, the scenic supervisor who has spent more than 100 hours building and cutting pieces for SpongeBob, spoke with me about his role as crew and what it's like.
I'm in charge of all the platforms that we recently created. I'm in charge of helping with all the other shops that are doing the painting, like paint shop, and then I can help props or anything like that when they need it.
As the cast and crew ran Tech Week, I realized how much work it takes to be a theatrical performer. Landon Hudson, who plays Patrick, gave me the inside scoop on his role and what he has done to transform into Patrick Star.
Patrick plays such a pivotal role in SpongeBob because, I don't want to spoil anything, but they have a fight. They have a friendship thing. And you go to intermission and you don't know what's going to happen with them two. And I think you've known SpongeBob and Patrick as this duo for so long, so to see them apart is really kind of scary for people who have loved the show for a long time. So I think I love getting to explore that relationship with Kaylin, and also my songs are just fire. I love the stuff that I get to do.
Now you have the inside scoop on the SpongeBob Musical. Don't forget to get your tickets with the link in the description box below and catch the performances April 13th through 16th at 7:30 p.m. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Kirsten Stokes with Channel 8 News.
Well, that's all the time we have for Channel 8 News. Be sure to click on the links below to rewatch certain sections of our show, as well as some upcoming events here at Northwest.
We also want to hear from you, so leave a comment below on these stories, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates, as well as other content on our YouTube page at KNWT TV. For the stories that matter to you, this has been Channel 8 News. Thanks for watching.
Click on those 2 videos on the right to watch some of our other content as well as our past episodes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and follow us on all of our platforms.